New figures have revealed that baby boomers are becoming addicted to their phones, with 30% of older Australians spending more than 3 hours a day on their devices.
Now, what was once a way to stay connected has now become a source of endless digital noise, even rewiring the brains of older Australians. Joining us now is futurist Michael McQueen.
Hey, Michael.
Morning to you, Michael.
Morning.
Look, we're always talking about our teens on their phones.
Yep.
I was in a shop the other day and the shopkeeper said to me, I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was on the phone trying to organise something with one of the kids. I said, I'm so sorry, I'm about to get off." And she said, "Oh, look, I had an 80-year-old woman in here yesterday. She didn't look up from her phone through the entire..." And then I looked and she was going through memes. So we're all subject to this addiction, right?
Yeah, we think about Gen Z, millennials being like the digital natives, but it's the older generation giving them a run for their money. So growing numbers of them, we're talking 5 and 6 hours a day on their phones. Interesting, the same research showed 40% say they get anxious when they leave the home and they've not got their phone.
Wow.
My theory is it's not just about the phone, because boomers love, you know, the flip phone cases that have all their credit cards in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
So if you
actually
haven't got your phone, it's the whole thing. You know, you'll be seeing your whole life at that point.
Now, you're more a hold an iPad up at a concert kind of girl, aren't you? You're like that. So it is having an impact on boomer health, though, mental health?
Yeah, I think for all of us, the moment you're past 5 or 6 hours a day on a device, the correlation with things like depression and anxiety is very, very clear. The challenge with older generations is, whereas the young'uns have grown up with the technology, so it's not great for them, but they're very used to task switching, for instance, being on lots of devices. For older generations, it's more taxing cognitively. They get tired, they get more distracted, because they haven't grown up with the stuff the same way younger generations have.
Yeah.
Is it also good, though? I'm thinking about, you know, just keeping your mind going. We know how important that is, although it's more important to be social. But it is keeping them connected as well.
It's keeping them connected. The tricky thing with particularly older generations online, and it goes back to what Stephen Covey wrote in one of his books, we've got all of us two circles: circle of concern, circle of influence. When you're online scrolling through any number of social platforms, your circle of concern is getting bigger and bigger. You're so aware of every outrage-worthy thing happening in the world at a time in life where your circle of influence is getting smaller. And that creates a lot of frustration. That's probably the thing we're seeing most challenging for older generations is the algorithms. We know this. They love to play into biases, the rabbit holes you can so easily go down, but also they trigger things like fear and outrage. That's how they keep you glued to the platforms.
Yeah.
Maybe we need government legislation then for boomers. We need a social media ban to keep...
In particular.
Yeah, mums and dads off Facebook.
There you go,
What do
maybe. That could work. No, it would not work in the slightest.
Michael, as always, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks, team.